Hello to everyone and welcome to our channel, Follow Me Trips, and also to our first official video regarding flights, traveling, the best deals, and everything you've seen so far, and a lot more. I thought about the best thing that I can start with when it comes to publishing videos, and it all came down to starting from the scratch and showing you how to get the best out of the most common flight search engines that we have out there, like Google Flights, Kayak, Mondo, and Skyscanner. There are obviously other great engines, but we will try to stick to these four ones for now. They're pretty much um, the ones that everybody knows about. Let's start with the first one, with Google Flights, and I'll show you a few quirks, a few tips and tricks that you can use in order to get the best deal, find the best price, and try to accommodate that budget as well. So let's go on Google Flights. It's pretty much the first one here. The first thing that you have to know about Google Flights is that it has a lot of capabilities, and you can look for a lot of dates, a lot of periods, a lot of destinations, and all of them at the same time. It has a lot of features, a lot of filters, and is all in all one of the best out there. It has its downsides, but we'll see how we can fix that too. Let's start with a simple search. Um, let's just put New York flying to London, one of the most common uh, flights on the planet. Once you go to the dates part, you will already see a search based on a 4-day trip and the best prices out there. If you scroll through the months, it will start loading and it will show you what a 4-day trip price is for that month. And we can go all the way and see 2 months at a time, all the way until the last month currently would be February 2020. So pretty much almost a year, 11 months in advance. You can see the prices. And as we would expect, the cheapest ones are the ones that are further away in time, like January and February 2020. And the most expensive ones you will find around the holidays, Christmas, Easter, and obviously during the summertime when everybody has the time off and wants to travel. Okay, you will also see that if you change here the number of days, the search refreshes and you will see the new prices for this period, for this duration. Let's change it to something a bit more travel oriented. If you go from New York to London, you will probably stay at least a week. Let's see what prices we have there. So for a 7-day trip, the best prices so far would be for May on the short-term search. If we go all the way to February, we find something a bit better in October, and let's see, November, and obviously we'll probably find something for January and February, of course. Let's go back and just choose the May ones. Best so far would be for a week, living on, let's say, Friday, so that you don't need to take any days off, and returning Sunday. Being that we fly from east to west, you wouldn't need you wouldn't need to get a day off for Monday. You depart on Sunday, you will most likely arrive on the same date. So the cheapest available option would be Norwegian. This is a low-cost carrier, direct flight, but only $372 for a return flight. Let's sort this out by price. Right now it's sorted as best flights. We'll sort it out by price. It's still the best option available, being that it's direct and the cheapest one. But it also tells us here that there are currently lower prices. And this is probably due to the fact that you have it, you have lower prices for the same destination, but a shorter or longer duration. Let's just see what it says. So 372 is very low, but there are prices $48 cheaper than usual right now. If we go to the date grid, we can find a plus minus 3 day interval and see if anything is cheaper for this combination, any of this combination of dates. But we can also scroll through them. So if we want a shorter trip, like a 2 day trip, we can go all the way here and see how much it would cost to leave on Friday and come back on Sunday. It's $385. And it's the same Norwegian. If we want it for a longer period, then we can go all the way down and see what the price is if we return on the 19th and stay there for about 2 weeks. And it's 372, the same with Norwegian. You can also try departing later or sooner and any kind of such combination. The second part is a price graph. So it basically tells you what the cheapest option is if you depart on that exact day. Like for example, this one. We have from the 3rd to the 19th. If you want to depart on Sunday, the best option would be to return on the 21st. It's $397. Or we can go 382 from the 21st of May to June 6th. We can also include the nearby airports. So right now we have all of the 6 airports in London included for the search, but we can also include other airports nearby, like Birmingham, Liverpool, Manchester, Bristol, or Southampton. Or we can exclude one of them. If we don't want to go to Southend because it's too far away, or Luton, we can also exclude that one. So we're pretty much left with let's exclude this one too, with the most important ones. Heathrow, Gatwick, and London City in the middle of the capital. We'll leave it at that. And if we want to do extra filtering, we can include here bags, carry-on bags. We can filter it by how many stops we're willing to take. Non-stop, one stop, or non-stop, 2 stops or fewer, one or non-stop. We can exclude or include certain airlines or alliances. If we don't want to travel by with the low cost, then let's just select SkyTeam. We want to fly Virgin, Delta, Air France, KLM, and their partners. The difference is it would be $409. So you can get those extra frequent flyer miles, or I don't know, get upgraded to a new tier, and we can find a new price. Obviously, once you start filtering and you have new pricing, you can, and I would advise that you select the dates again if you are willing to sacrifice the destination, or to sacrifice the period that you're willing to travel for, or even the duration. Okay, the one of the most important things that you can do on Google Flights is add more airports or more cities in between which you can search. There are certain exceptions. Out of my own experience, London cannot be included with something else, but that's an exception. Let's see what we can do. We departed from New York City. We have removed everything from London. So it's what Google is going to do is going to do a search for everything. Right now we've selected the map. We're above the United States. So it's only going to search the best flights during these periods to the United States from New York. And these are the best price. But we can move the map. So right now it's going to search for this entire map, all the way from Ecuador to the northern part of the United States and a bit of Canada. And we have the best prices here. We can filter it by price. We want to travel anywhere, but we wouldn't like to pay more than $200. So our best bet is anywhere from Boston to Miami, or Chicago. And that's about it for these periods. But we can also go all the way to Europe. Let's see what we have available for Europe. Under $200, unfortunately, nothing. But if we go all the way to 350, let's see, anything changing? Not really for SkyTeam. Over 500, below $500, obviously we have London. But if we remove the SkyTeam, there's plenty more, all the way from Oslo to Madrid or Barcelona. Now, obviously, you can start filtering it again, but if you do want to take advantage of it the most, then just go on the dates and try flexible dates. So you can search on the last 6 months and do a search for the weekend, or do a search for 1 week, or for up to 2 weeks, and get the best deal. We have here actually a pretty good deal flying from New York City to Madrid aboard Delta, direct flight, $287. September 23rd to October 9th, which is a great, great deal if you ask me. Let's see that one. So a direct flight with Delta. You can see more information by clicking this arrow. It's a 767 overnight. You depart JFK at 7:30 p.m. You'll land at 9:15. It'll be a 767 Boeing Delta Flight 126. You have additional information here on the aircraft, the average legroom, if it has Wi-Fi or not, in-seat USB outlet, on-demand video, so IFE. You can also see if it has any other type of options, like in-seat power outlet, for example, on the United, on the 777. Let's see what Iberia has. Pretty much the same. In-seat power and USB outlet. So you have a lot of things to see. If you change it from economy to something else like business, for example, we might be able to see even more information. And we have other quirks like angle flat seat or lie flat seat. We'll go. Obviously, I'm not sure this would be the first option, but the cheapest option on those days would be going to Bogota on Avianca, and then from Bogota to Madrid, same Avianca on a lie flat Dreamliner, which is a pretty nice deal and a pretty good price. Okay, so as I was telling you before, you can do a multiple search. If you don't want to see the map, you have certain destinations that you're interested in, well, you can just add them here, usually up to five, but there are restrictions. And once you use them, you'll notice that certain big hubs are not options actually to be added together. So let's say we'll depart from New York City and we want to go to Australia or New Zealand. So we either say Australia. If we do that, the map appears, and we can do the search again. We have the best prices. Let's switch it back to economy. Okay, and you can do the flexible dates, search however you want, get the best fares, do the filtering by airlines, number of stops, and so on, even on duration. If you don't want to travel more than, I don't know, 20 hours, you can filter that. Fortunately, nothing available. Or we can go back and we can say we want certain cities and we want to travel anywhere to Australia or New Zealand. So we would say we want to see Sydney, and if you know the code, you can just say the code and then a comma. It will automatically add it to Melbourne and Auckland. Let's try and see which one of these three is the cheapest. So far on these exact dates, the cheapest travel would be with United from Newark Airport to Melbourne Airport. And we will have a short 4-hour layover in Los Angeles. Total flight time 25 hours. Um, if we want to see whether there's something cheaper around those dates, just go to date grid and you can work through the dates plus minus a few, and you get a bit of a better price. You can also, besides the fact that you can add multiple destinations, you can also include multiple departure dates. So besides New York City, we can add a few more. Let's see what's around New York City that we might get a better price overall and save some money. But just travel a bit more by bus, by train, by a connecting flight or something like that. So around New York, we would have, let's say, Boston, Washington, and Philadelphia. See, unfortunately, this is one of the cases where that I was mentioning. If you add too many locations, too many important locations, though it's just four, if they're big hubs, Google will not actually show you everything. So since we already had New York, let's just remove New York and we'll have Boston, Washington, Philadelphia, but let's add in Miami, for example. And now it works. We do have the same number for cities, so for departure places, but it does work. New York being a big hub, Google has a bit of problem there. It won't show you the results, but you can take them one by one. And we can see overall on the same dates, we have a better price from Philadelphia, $811. We had before from New York only, 816. So it's not a big save, but you have to take into account that directly from New York, we had two stops, 26 hours and 5 minutes. And with United from Philadelphia, we have just 1 hour stop, 22 hours and 40 minutes. So you have to work with that and see if you're willing to do an extra stop and fly from New York overall 25 hours, or go to Philadelphia, have just 1 hour flight, a 1 hour stop, but take a bus from New York to Philly, fly, or something like that. You might not save the money, but it depends. Let's see. If you move it by 1 day, it's already $766. So we're talking about a bit of a save. Let's see if we can find something better. Around these days, not really. But if we say Australia, and we're a bit more flexible for 2 weeks, let's see. It's going to take a bit to load. In the end, it's 4 departure. So Sydney 766, we have Melbourne 759, Brisbane 795, Cairns 950, and let's move it over New Zealand here. See if they add that one up, what the price would be. The best one that I can see obviously would be Honolulu. It's the closest one. Let's get it out. And filter it anything under 800 bucks. So under 800 bucks. So far we have Bali, Sydney, Singapore, Jakarta, Bengaluru in India, Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam, Melbourne as we mentioned, Phnom Penh, this is in Cambodia, Brisbane and Phuket in Thailand. Kuala Lumpur and Cebu, these are Malaysia and the Philippines. So overall, you have other destinations that you can think about if you have the map view in case you're not 100% decided on Australia. You want a cheaper destination. Australia in the end is not the cheapest place to go. It's amazing, but if your options are uh, a lot more than just Australia, then why not choose Kuala Lumpur? See the Petronas Towers, go to Langkawi or Penang, go to Singapore, whatever you want to and you'd like. And this is pretty much it for Google Maps. There are other things, other things that you can discover, but when it comes to search of flights, if you take into account all of these details, you might actually find a really good price. for economy, same for business, premium economy, or first class. They all work and they're pretty good. Now, there would be one thing to mention when it comes to Google Flights. They will find you a good price. They will find you one of the best deals and one of the best combinations when it comes to distance, when it comes to how much time you stay in the air or in the airport or a combination of the two. But you can get a better price if you first find your dates through Google Flights and then search for the exact same thing with another flight search engine like Momondo or Kayak or even Skyscanner. Another thing would be if you change it from the USD currency to an EUR or AUD or some other currency that you're interested in, it might go through different other travel agencies for that country. Let's say we don't want United States, we want to see Australia. Since we're going to Australia, let's try Australia. And it will look at it from a different perspective. It will look at those websites in Australia, which you might find higher prices or lower prices, even adjusted for currency. So there's a lot of things that you can work in. If you have the time, I would advise searching on Google, and then maybe once you have the right dates, go and do a search on Kayak, see if you find something better. Okay, and this would be for this would be it for Google Flights. Um, our next one is going to be for Kayak. So tune in. We'll get back with that soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.